calling out to the wolf pack. This is Call of the Wild with Danielle Lewis coming at you from bright and sunny Jensen Beach, Florida. Today we're here to go through the comments for the video I made when Cenk Uygur was forced to resign from Justice Democrats. I got varying responses from that video. Some TYT loyalists had absolutely no idea what I was talking about, thought Cenk Uygur is a thought leader, and brushed me off as insane. I also had a few Trump-tards who, for some reason, thought that I agreed with them. And then a very few very reasonable people knew where I was coming from because they saw the same things that I saw. So, for the rest of you, I think I should explain why I dislike TYT Maine and Cenk Uygur, and why I do not trust either. So, I got back online in 2013 after I finally got a job, and I wanted an alternative news source. TYT, being the largest at the time, was very easy to find. Through their channel, I also found David Pakman, Sam Cedar, Kyle Kalinske, Jeff Waldorf, and Jimmy Dore had a channel at the time, but he wasn't doing anything with it. So this is where I began my progressive education. I just heard a whole bunch of right-wingers' heads explode. When I say progressive education, let me explain. When you're growing up in a small town in South Florida, you have absolutely no idea what's going on in the wide world. There's a few things that you do know, and that is elderly people, religion, and conservatism. So, growing up in that environment, when I got a job making $10 an hour, I thought I was banking. This is a whole bunch of money because no one pays over the federal minimum wage here at all. And when I found out about concepts like basic income and universal health care and universal education, I was blown away that not only are these things possible, but they're already working out there in the wider world. So, having this knowledge and coming from where I come from, I was ready to join the cause. Who is the enemy? Corporate money and politics, and the politicians that are corrupted by such. So here we go. We are trying to get money out of politics through Wolfpack, wolf-pack.com, and we know who the problem is. Now, as time goes on, I start to notice a few things, and especially the differences between Cenk Uygur and Kyle Kalinske. Now, Kyle Kalinske will almost solely focus on policy and things that have to do with policy. So if there's social issues, you better bet that he's going to put a policy proposal in there. TYT does cover news, but they also cover the SJW microaggression bullshit. Somebody said something offensive online. Somebody made an offensive gesture at a woman. That kind of thing. And you'll see when I do my next video about how their SJW rants only serve to further divide us. Because what they do is put everybody in their little box, in their little section. So you have the black people over here, you have the white people over here, poor people here, Mexicans there. Everybody has a designation and a label. And I think that is counterproductive when both the Bible and science agree that all humans are 99.9999999% identical to each other. Your gender is a consequence of biology. Your skin color is a consequence of where your ancestors grew up, every single human is the same. So when you take that into account, rather than talking about women's rights, you should be talking about human rights. And that's where I'm going to get into in the next video. But my last straw with TYT was after the Democratic primary in 2016, when Cenk Uygur, so very sad and remorseful, looked right into the camera and said, "Sad day for us. You know what I need you to do." And what he meant was, you need to vote for Hillary Clinton because of Donald Trump. And I went back and I said, whoa, what the hell? These people just spent the last year and a half exposing Hillary Clinton and everything that I didn't already know about her. And now they're telling me that I have to vote for her because lesser of two evils? I find that cowardly. You cannot lead the revolution if you're complicit in the corruption. And when you give Hillary Clinton a pass just because her running mate is worse than her, that is being complicit in corruption. I found out from Jimmy Dore and David Dole that Cenk Uygur is still going on with the Russia hysteria. So as far as I know, there are a handful of pundits that actually know that the Russia hysteria is bullshit, and they're speaking about it. And then there's everybody else, including Cenk Uygur and TYT. So he is so against Trump that he is willing to believe anything. And again, that is why I do not like Cenk Uygur and TYT Maine, and why I will continue to support people like Kyle Kulinski and Jimmy Dore. Jeff Waldorf is one that has been sitting on the fence in this matter, and I find him extremely cowardly for doing that. He's hedging his bets, so he's right either way. And that's not right. You have to stand for something. So with that being said, let's get into these comments. Here's the first one. He says, "Here's what the future holds for Justice Democrats. Nothing. They're done. Within a short period, they won't be able to afford to keep the lights on, unless they've got enough of a bundle in the bank. They won't even last to the elections next year. And none of this is because, quote, because Cenk Uygur doesn't know how to keep things private, unquote. This entire bullshit, quote, controversy is over stuff he wrote 20 years ago when he was a right-winger. Stuff he deleted over a decade ago." So, from the end of that comment, I can only assume that you were supporting Justice Democrats, but now that they've done this, you're not supporting Justice Democrats. And there are a few comments like this. Now, let me tell you the difference between a progressive and I don't know. I guess these SJWs are trying to out SJW the other SJWs, and the one set of SJWs is pissed off at the other set of SJWs for ousting an SJW. This is fucking great. But the point is the Justice Democrats management did this, not the candidates. So if you're not going to support the candidates because the management did some shady shit, then who's the one that's unprincipled? Here it is. This is the big one. "Belief in Reformation is a progressive principle. JD staff are right-wing for not believing in Reformation." So I said, every single one of them have signed on to a progressive platform of universal health care, universal college, getting money out of politics. Did I cut off my own thing? Yes, I did. Alright, so the Justice Democrats candidates have signed on to a progressive policy platform. So we're just going to ignore the policy because of SJW infighting. That's not fair to the candidates, especially because every single one of them got into this for us. So he said, so the rejection of Reformation is now left-wing, because that's not what I signed up for. I signed up for progressivism that believes in redemption and the betterment of oneself. So I said, what in my statement and the JD platform leads you to believe they're not for Reformation? Their actions lead me to believe they're not for Reformation. Are you a spokesperson for Justice Democrats? No. I'm a citizen of the United States, and the Justice Democrats are fighting for people like me. So I'm going to speak for them because they're speaking for me. He says they just kicked out Cenk for 15-year-old blogs he deleted 12 years ago. Cenk has made clear he doesn't stand by those beliefs over the past decade and has shown he has reformed. JD didn't care. Well, in that, I have to disagree. Especially with the accusations against Jordan Chariton coming out. And, you know, South Park got SJWs absolutely perfect in PC Principle and the PC Bros. We're gonna fight for social justice so we can crush some puss. It actually does not surprise me in the least. And then this one comes in. They say nowhere in any of their comments did they say that. When I said, so you're going to ignore policy over SJW bullshit. Nowhere in any of their comments did they say that. Their actions lead me to believe they are not for Reformation. I mean, literally. Nowhere in their comments did they say that. Please stop with your straw man argument. I'm upset by this. Cenk is, Kyle is, we all are. But we're still endorsing the candidates of Justice Democrats and encouraging others to do so as well. Didn't I just say that? Wasn't that what I was just arguing? Do not blame the candidates. Furthermore, how can you be so unprincipled to go against your beliefs if it means that Cenk is being removed from Justice Democrats? You said it yourself that you dislike SJWs. In fact, you implied the reason for your dislike of Cenk is that he's an SJW. And I say all of this giving you the benefit of the doubt. When you say baggage, you didn't mean the blog post he made. There's a lot of hypocrisy going on there if that's the case. Talk about missing the fucking point entirely. Seriously, that's what he got from all of that. No, that's not what I was talking about. You say all of that based on a false assumption. I see you fail to recognize basic human emotion or follow a conversation, ironically strawmanning me while claiming that's what I'm doing. How can you claim that I'm unprincipled when you don't even comprehend what my principles are? So let's take your feels out of the equation and use logic. I asked, what in the JD platform or policy positions lead you to believe they're not for Reformation? He said, quote, their actions lead me to believe. Oh, it's cut off. What actions, I say? No objections based on policy, just simply anti-SJW outrage. It was said just above my last post. I take JD's side firmly in this because 2016 led me to believe that Cenk Uygur is untrustworthy because he is unprincipled. He spent a year exposing Hillary Clinton only to turn his back on the revolution once the establishment road was closed to him. He sacrificed his principles, caving to fear of Trump and McCarthyism. How is it principled to, at the same time, parrot the DNC's Russiagate propaganda while running an organization to overthrow them? There's your baggage and the distinct difference between Cenk and Kyle in 2017. I didn't know about the blogs. No one did. So how would that be the baggage? I hope that clears things up because I had no idea what you were talking about. Since you won't ask, I'll tell you what my principles are. Honesty, integrity, intelligence, analytical prowess, consistency, and dedication to the cause. Kyle 6, Cenk 1/2 for creating JDs. And then this guy comes in. You see this crap. Shut up, right-wing trash retard. What? Do not come on my channel and harass my viewers who are actually engaging in intelligent conversation if you have absolutely nothing to say. The other guys may not be able to police their channel, but with only 44 people on my channel, it's very easy for me to police you guys. So here's a couple more. I think SJWs are just as bad as extreme right-wingers. To me, there's really no difference. And again, that'll be in the next video that I post. The next one, Cenk is the one who was promoting JD to the max. I only heard of JD and donated to my local JD candidate because of Cenk. Full stop. If that's where you heard of him, then you're not listening to enough progressive pundits. Why are you only getting your news from TYT? That's fucking stupid. It's like just like getting your news only from MSNBC, or only Kyle Kalinske, or only Jimmy Dore. You need to have multiple sources. And say, screw you for tossing him under the bus. Kyle is principled. Everyone should watch his reaction and thoughts on this whole matter. Screw Cenk Uygur for tossing the cause under the bus once Hillary Clinton, quote-unquote, won the nomination. Kyle is principled. Cenk Uygur is not. This is my favorite. Trump is the best thing that ever happened to you. He is the delusional cause you've been brainwashed to rage against. People listen to you now because you're super important with your hate. You're a respect member of your cult. And as long as you direct your blind, rabid life hate at Trump, parroting the neo-slaver totalitarian left rhetoric unquestioningly, you won't have to drink the red Kool-Aid. Hashtag I will pray for you. This is getting weird. Trump is the best thing that ever happened to me, and I'm so freaking important and popular. Oh, God. I wonder what it's like to go through life completely mentally retarded. And, not that these people, I don't think that any one of them are disabled in the technical term. I think they're just fucking stupid. So you can't see it here, but I responded to this, and I told them, yeah, I'm super important with my 25 fucking subscribers. What the fuck are you babbling about? And then this. Being rude, nasty, and fugly, irony alert, won't win you any discussions. Merry Christmas anyway. Cenk is a lying POS. So, being rude to me, while being illiterate is okay. But if I respond, I'm in the wrong. Oh, and don't forget that I'm fugly, and I'm rude. Oh, hypocrisy is a foreign concept to these people. You people couldn't win an argument on merit to save your lives. Your insults mean nothing to me. Do you really think that I have not heard it all before? Look at me. I'm hideous. I've heard it all before. You guys aren't even smart enough to say anything useful. And we have this one. Well, Donald Trump is my president, and I'm proud to say that. Y'all will be loving him when you see your taxes cut. Hopefully we can all get along. I don't down Dems. I wish we could all get along. Well, when considering none of us are actually going to see a tax cut, because he also revoked the individual mandate, so we're all actually going to see our taxes increase. No, I don't think that that's going to come to fruition. Sorry, guy. Mr. James Wilkins says, great commentary. Maybe I'm too pie in the sky, but despite ours being in power, they do not have their shit together. Corporate Dems are even worse. Always felt conflicted. Reason, Cenk. He had the gift of gab and the charm. And most importantly, the Deb establishment wanted to eliminate pesky lefties calling them out, at least some of the time, on their duplicity and disregard of working class of all ethnic backgrounds. Keep up the good work. Thank you, James Wilkins. I definitely will. And Kizume Fowler says, good point about SJWs being right-wing. Fascinating. I've said it's like a religion, and if it is, it's very dogmatic. It actually makes sense that it's more authoritarian right-wing than actual left-wing, mixed into how some, in actuality, are pushing for a new form of segregation. Since this video is getting long, I'm actually going to get into the fact that here we have this one. The left becomes far left, extreme left, and suddenly become right. The left can be authoritarian or totalitarian. You think Stalinism was right? Cuba? This is the left eating themselves. It's a perfect example. All the founders are gone. Activism on a voluntary basis takes commitment. Sadly, it's SJW level commitment. We're going to revisit this when I talk about SJWs and the right wing. because I've actually found out some very fascinating things about both Stalin and Hitler that you guys will find absolutely hilarious, considering that it directly correlates with SJWs. And of course, we have our various trolls. You need to go back to the zoo. Again, I heard it all before. How is authoritarianism right wing? Why can't it be left wing? Again, I'll address that in the next video because this is getting long. Justice Democrats is dead, and good riddance. Without Cenk and Kyle, there is no Justice Democrats. I disagree. Throw the baby out with the bathwater is kind of stupid. Now, this one down below is one of the last two that I want to cover. MAGA, Cenk is going down. That Armenian genocide channel is fake news. Armenian genocide channel? I expect that kind of eloquence from a Trump tard. What does that even mean? So Kizame told me, I think it has something to do with the name Young Turks. I'm not sure. I've never gotten a straight answer out of anyone. So this is where I actually went looking for it. And, as I said, you idiotic right-wingers lack any sense of fact and nuance, so let me enlighten you. A counter-coup took place in 1909, ultimately resulting in the 31 March incidentin, 13 April 1909. Some reactionary Ottoman military elements, joined by Islamic theological students, the movement initially targeted the Young Turk government. It spilled over into programs against Armenians who were perceived as having supported the restoration of the constitution. When the Ottoman army troops were called in, many accounts record that instead of trying to quell the violence, they actually took part in pillaging Armenian enclaves in the Adana province. So they're trying to equate the Young Turks with the Armenian genocide, not knowing the actual history about it. All they knew is that the Young Turks were in government at the time, and that's all they knew. They had no idea that it was a reactionary, racist, nationalist element within the Young Turks that joined the troops in support of the monarchy in a counter-coup. Now, when you talk about the Armenian genocide, you have to remember one thing. Ana Kasparian is Armenian, and TYT, for all their faults, has covered the Armenian genocide. So this is just right-wing garbage. Wow, this is getting long. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to cover. This guy says, LOL, but Jimmy Dore puts on some logos on all his vids. Problem is he's making only pro-Trump vids recently. I said, what? The hell are you talking about? Jimmy Dore has never done a pro-Trump video. That claim says more about you than anything about Jimmy. And I was right. He says, proof that Russia hacked DNC server is bullshit, posted by Nation magazine. Clinton colluded with Russia to smear Trump during the election. Evidence Clinton campaign invented Trump-Russia story to cover their failures. The last one is word for word exactly what Trump has repeated over and over. Just pause here. You do know that a broken clock is correct twice a day, right? Oh, another straight from Trump. Trump tweets it and Jimmy Dore does a vid of it. That is horseshit. Maybe Trump is stumbling on to correct answers for once in his entire life. FBI implicates Obama and Clinton in Russian bribery. That has nothing to do with Trump. Okay, you guys need to get out of this thing where saying something bad about one means you support the other. So just because someone is reporting on an investigation about Clinton doesn't mean they're a Trump supporter. Just because they're reporting on the investigation about Trump doesn't mean they're a Clinton supporter. You guys have got to get out of this red-blue dichotomy, because it's making you look fucking stupid. I can read. You obviously don't bother to do stuff like that. What the fuck are you talking about? My entire channel is me diving into links. Are you fucking kidding me? Do a Dore Russia search, or Dore Putin search. Dore seems to love Putin. So I told him, you're a tribalist child. Quote, they're criticizing my side, so they have to be the other side. There's more to life than the red-blue divide. The DNC and RNC are two sides of the same coin, are financed by the same people and serve the same interests. Dore is critical of the DNC because attacking Trump and the GOP is low-hanging fruit. He is trying to keep what is supposed to be our side honest. Those are not pro-Trump videos, you simpleton. Those are documented, objective truths. He says, those are documented, objective truths. Total, proven lies. What the hell? You act like a Russian bot. Here we go again. I haven't been a child since Nam. I'm just another disabled veteran losing my medical because selfish twerps thought it would be cool to elect Trump. Enjoy him. You deserve him. I voted for Jill Stein. So that's what I said. Yes, I'm a Russian bot with technology so sophisticated that I can imitate a southern U.S. female. Selfish twerps like your comrades voted for Trump and voted for Hillary Clinton. The majority of the military voted for one or the other. People like you elected Trump by pushing Hillary Clinton down our throats. Post your evidence that any of those things are proven lies without mentioning the DNC or 17 intelligence agencies. I'll wait. He continues. And it's just, it's all garbage. He just continues. I love this, too. Adult stuff. If you lived through Reagan, you'd know from experience, never vote for someone like Trump. And don't ever waste a vote. See George W. Bush. Oh, I find that hilarious. Considering I'm in Florida, where the election was conveniently stolen. That's the kind of shit that keeps people from voting at all. When you tell people that if they don't vote the way you think they should vote, they shouldn't vote at all, then they won't vote at all. Because voting is a chore. So you are suppressing the vote by telling people that they shouldn't vote their conscience and should vote for the way that you think they should vote. That's fucking horseshit. Ignore the proof and pretend it's not there, huh? So you agree with the lie that made PolitiFact's lie of the year. Clinton colluded with Russia to smear Trump during the election. They admitted to it. They admitted to it. How do you think that Russia has helped Trump? And how do you think that Trump has helped Russia? And if you say Russian WikiLeaks, I will appear next to you and slap you upside your head. Rachel Maddow is a propagandist that makes $30,000 a day to say what she's told to say. Get your head out of your ass. A propagandist, and Fox News always tells the truth. Oh, I lost it on this guy. I am wearing a Donnie Tiny Hands t-shirt, you fucking simpleton. I am a leftist. Why do you think that I am right-wing? The intelligence community has been investigating Trump since August 2016, long before you think that they started investigating them with Papadopoulos. This is what happens when you don't pay attention with your own senses. I love this. Rachel Maddow lied her ass off about the attack in Africa, twisted facts, but Jimmy/Hannity do that every day. So you think that she lied about one thing, but's telling the truth about this. That is fucking stupid. In the last video that he posted, 30 seconds in, Jimmy said that he was reading from the New York Times. Not Fox News, not Breitbart, none of that stupid shit. This is where it's getting bad. Very bad. Where now, if you dare to question the narrative, you are somehow being controlled by Russia. That is called McCarthyism. And we are going to continue that right-wing McCarthyistic attitude of the Democrats when we talk about the SJW's comparison to the right wing. This is going on 30 minutes, so I'm going to let you all go, and I'm going to get that next video out before Sunday. You all have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon.